So I've just got back from a really amazingly crazy, short but crammed, jam-packed trip to the Canary Islands, and specifically the volcanic island of Lanzarote. I took with me 4 lenses and just one camera body. In fact, I actually took my vlogging camera, which is what I'm shooting on now, which is a Sony a6000, which I'll get to separately, and just took one lens with that. So let's not include that for now. So I'm talking just DSLR at the moment. Now, for those of you that are Canon users, you'll recognize 1 or 2 of these lenses. And those of you that aren't, I'm sure that whatever you use, there are third party or your own brands versions of these. Now, first of all, let's start with the big boy, the 70-200. Now, this is one of, when it comes to landscape photography, this, I wouldn't say it's a must-have, but it's certainly a very good addition to any kit bag. The 70-200, especially at 2.8, is a fabulous lens to have with you. Now, funnily enough, I didn't use this once on the trip, so obviously it's not a must-have. It came with me and it's very heavy, and I don't wish that I didn't take it. I just didn't see any, potential compositions that I could have used it, but 70-200 Sigma is what I use, 2.8, great lens. And now I'm going to get to the 24-105 Canon f4. Now, this lens is one of my most popular lenses when it comes to landscapes. I like to shoot landscapes somewhere between this focal length, 24-105, and because it's a 77mm thread, that means that it will work with my big stopper, my 10 stop HD, which allows me to take those really long exposures. So that's why I love this lens so much. And because I've got the zoom, and it's obviously not a prime lens, I can, if I'm feeling particularly lazy, then I can literally walk forward or backwards. Now, I know you should always zoom with your legs, but when you've got a zoom lens like this, it really does the hard work for you. It's an f4 lens, so it's not very good in low light, but a really, really good general lens. And now this is a red, you see the red ring? This is an L series lens. It's probably one of the better lenses that I own in terms of glass. It's really well made, it's very robust. You just feel like it won't cause you any problems while you're away. Now, I'm moving on to my wide lens. Now, this is a bit naughty because this lens here is a Tokina 11-16mm. Now, this lens is not compatible with full frame bodies, they said, but it is at 16mm. At 11mm, you get horrendous vignetting, but at 16mm, you just get just a touch of vignetting in the corners. Maybe I should just get a whole new wide angle lens, but I don't think I need to, because 16mm, I love shooting wide. Wide angle lenses, or a wide angle, is probably my favorite style of lens to shoot because I love big foregrounds. I love it when the lens swallows up all that immediate foreground that leads you out into the distance. Now, admittedly, at 16mm, whatever's in the background is going to look miles away. So not only do you have to have something in your immediate foreground, you probably need something in your middle ground as well, let alone your background. But the great thing is with that lens, it's 2.8, brilliant for night photography. And also, it's 77mm thread again, so I can put the big stopper on here, something that I do quite a lot. So the wide lens, for me, as a travel photographer, is a must-have. This really is. When it comes to this or this goes in the bag straight away, and then I see if I can take this. And finally, the fourth lens is a lens that I would never really have thought about taking with me before. Now, because my travel companion, Laura, my girlfriend, she loves the travel life just as much as I do, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to shoot some portraits in an amazing place. So this is an 85mm Sigma 1.4. Now, I spent a lot of the time with this lens around about 1.8, 2.5, something like that. 1.4, didn't really work because the image was coming back overexposed even at ISO 100, because the maximum shutter speed on the Canon 6D is 1/4000th of a second. If you're on a high-end full frame, then you'll notice it's 8,000th of a second, maybe even more than that these days. But at 1.4 I couldn't use it because the light was so good. If anything, it was too good. So my lenses were coming out overexposed, so I couldn't use it at 1.4. However, the bokeh and the out of focus blurry background bit was so good on this, even at 3.5, probably at f8 because it's so good. This allowed us to get some really unique portraits, I think, in front of amazing landscapes. So definitely, if you're traveling with a companion, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, you're going to probably want to take some pictures of someone else. So take a lens that will allow you to just get really nice portraits, so you can blur out that background just softly, and you can really focus on your subjects and get pin sharp, tack sharp shots. So the Sigma 85mm 1.4, definitely I'll be taking away with me again. Now when it comes to mirrorless cameras, I've just brought this vlogging camera, say just 2-3 months ago, the A6000. Now I didn't go for the A6300 or the 6500 because I don't need 4K and I couldn't really justify paying a little bit more for it. So I got the A6000 with a kit lens and a 30mm Sigma. This camera is amazing. Sometimes my DSLR gear is so heavy, I just don't want to bring it out with me. And therefore, I will take this, it will fit in my pocket, it's so light. Not only is it my vlogging camera, I can quickly turn it to aperture priority or even manual if I want to take a manual exposure and just get those street photography shots where I can use the DSLR gear for my big landscapes and portraits. So this is a really great addition. And honestly, the Sony 6000 is lighter with the kit lens than this 85 1.4. In fact, it's lighter than my lightest lens, which is probably this 24 to 105. If it's weight that you want to eradicate, then that rhymes. Get yourself a little Sony pocket rocket like I've got. It really will blow your mind what it can do because it's such a small package. Video is amazing. You can do some slow-mo at 50 frames a second. Obviously you've got that cinematic feel at 25 frames a second, which is what I'm shooting in now. And in great light, this lens is as good as any camera I've ever used. It really is. Even in low light, this camera is brilliant. When you're traveling, think about the weight, think about what you want to shoot, and maybe think about taking a few risks. For example, taking a heavier lens with you, yeah, it might be heavier to carry around, but you'll be able to get some unique perspectives on things that you won't be able to get with the other lenses. So that for me is my golden lineup. I've got wide from 16mm. I've got nothing in between that and 24 to 105. Then from there I've got my 70 to 200 2.8, and in the middle somewhere I've got my 85 1.4. So that's all there is to say really about my travel photography. I'm always looking to add little bits of kit, so I don't know what I will fancy getting next. Maybe I will look at getting a sharper wide angle lens, but for the moment, for the now, it is fine. It does the job. Thanks for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, subscribe if you like what you hear or what you see. So do leave me a comment, maybe on your travel photography experiences, what you like to take with you. If you've got any questions, fire them over and I'll be happy to answer them. And on that note, I will see you on Thursday for the first installment of Lanzarote the vlog. And without bigging it up too much, it's epic. So probably one of the best photos I've ever taken in my life will appear on this vlog. The light that we had was, oh my God, it was out of this world. I probably would say it's in my top 3 of all time. So 3 vlogs to come. See you soon. Thursday, Monday, Thursday. Be there or be square. I'll see you then. Wow! That was not just one of the most incredible sunsets I've ever seen. Without sounding overly dramatic, that was one of the most incredible moments of my life. The light across that rock was, I'm going to sound like a 13-year-old, but it was sick. Oh!
la 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 la.